Hey guys, this is Ashley and this is Downright Bookish, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different on my channel. So yeah, if you're interested in like a vloggy type video, that's what's going to be happening today. But I wanted to sit down and kind of introduce a new series that I want to do on my channel. So I haven't really finalized the name of this series yet, but it'll be in the title of the video. But really what I want to do is talk about sequels to books, because I really always enjoy reviewing sequels and kind of talking about my opinions about them, but it's really hard to review a sequel without being like a spoiler review or just like not giving enough context to the story. And it's just really hard to talk about sequels, especially when you're not trying not to exclude people that haven't read like the first book in the series or the books before this sequel. So all that to say, I'm going to be doing a kind of like a read with me vlog where I'll be reading sequels in a series that I'm kind of continuing on, and this is going to be completely spoiler. It's going to be like my first impressions, first thoughts as I go through the book. And the first book that I'm going to be doing this with is The Girls of Storm and Shadow, and this is the sequel to The Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nying. And I really love that book. I actually have a full review of that book on my channel. It's probably one of my favorite reviews because I really went in depth into the story, and it was just a really amazing story. So I want to be able to talk about the sequel without kind of doing a review, because I want my reviews to stay spoiler free. So this is going to be like a read along with me. I'll give you my first impressions as I kind of go through the books, my initial reactions, and yeah, and it'll be kind of a spoily opportunity. So if you want to read the book with me as I go through this, that would be cool too. This is just kind of like a first iteration of this. It'll probably evolve as time goes by, but this is the first book that I'm going to be reading, and then I'm also going to be reading the sequel to Children of Blood and Bone as part of this series as well. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And if you want to do like a read along of that book, let me know in the comments, because I could maybe create this into like a read along with me, and then post this after our read along with my initial thoughts and all of that. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. And yeah, so I'm going to be starting The Girls of Storm and Shadow and be giving you some of my initial thoughts on it. And yeah, so if that's something you're really interested in, keep watching. This will be my entire thoughts and feelings of this book in this video. But this is me kind of in the beginning introducing this new series and introducing this book. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey guys, it's late and I have been reading The Girls of Shadow, or The Girls of Shadow and Storm, or Storm and Shadow. I can't remember what the title is at this moment, but I'm about 50 pages into it and I'm really enjoying it so far. It basically started off like right where the first one left off. So Lee is with Ren in this temple in the mountains, and they have kind of been living there for a couple of weeks, and Ren's father actually comes to like tell them about their plan for basically what that's going to happen in this book. But essentially they're going to be traveling to the different clans and trying to like vie for their support basically. So I mean, it's pretty interesting. I think it's going to have some drama in it because Ren hasn't told her father about her relationship with Lee. That is interesting. I'm curious to know how that's gonna go. And yeah, I'm liking the banter between, there's like two demons that are like on their side, named Bo and Nydia, I think is her name. But they're leopard demons, and they're twins. I think they were introduced at the end of the last book, but we're kind of getting to know them a little bit better in this book, and they're just like, I can tell they're already going to be like the comedic relief, basically. I can tell that that's what they're going to be, but they're a fun couple of, twins, brother and sister. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing what this book is going to offer. I think what I liked about the first book particularly was kind of learning about the kingdom and then kind of being at the palace and kind of like understanding and navigating that world. So this one is them outside of the palace, and so I'm hoping we'll get to see more of the world and more of the different clans. And yeah, I'm kind of like refreshing my mind about what happened, but we know that the king is alive, but right now in the book, there are rumors the king is dead. So I think Ren and Lee and all of like the good people assume that he's dead, but I don't think he really is. So yeah, so first 50 pages are pretty good. So looking forward to keep on reading. So I'll keep you guys posted on my thoughts as I go through. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of days since I made my initial reactions to Girls of Storm and Shadow. I am about 100 pages into the book now, and it's kind of going as I expected it to go. So basically, the premise, I guess, like, plot of this story is them kind of going to the various clans, demon clans, and trying to rally their support for their cause. I'm at a point right now where they just went to the White Palace. It's the clan for the birds, basically the main bird clan. And we actually saw the daughter of this clan, like in the first book, but it's a matriarchy, so I'm interested to see how that dynamic goes. But I'm also at a pretty interesting part where Lei, I think I called her Lee all in the last clip. I was like extremely tired that day when I was filming that clip, but her name is Lei, and Lei and Ren just discovered that the king is still alive. So that's kind of where I am right now. So it's pretty tense. I want to continue reading and see what happens, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's has an interesting tone. It's very different from the last book, but still very intriguing. There's a lot of new characters in this book, which I am enjoying. I think I mentioned the leopard demon twins in this book, or they're some type of cat. They're either a leopard or like mountain lion, but they're a large cat demon, and they're twins, Bo and Nita, and they're definitely like the comic relief of the story, but I can tell that they're much deeper characters. Natasha Nang has really done a good job of like developing their characters, and there's also some tensions between like the cat clans and the bird clans, so interested to see where that goes. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It has like the similar writing as the first one, and it's really good. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this the first time I was talking about this book, but it goes into detail about like what happens when a demon meets like an animal that they're based off of, because the first scene of the book is actually Lei and the two twins going out on a hunting trip, and they encounter a like snow leopard, I believe, and it's like it's very revered for them to actually meet their like animal. I forget what they call it, but it's like their spirit animal or something. And they actually don't eat their spirit animals. So I think that was a big question in the first book that a lot of people had, like these demons that have like animal features. They're obviously like, some of them are omnivores, carnivores. So like, do they eat their animals? Like if they're a goat, would they eat a goat or like a cow or something like that? But apparently they won't. They'll eat meat, but they won't eat the meat of their like spirit animal. So I think she wanted to probably answer that question, because I'm sure a lot of people had questions about that. So that was like part of the first scene in the book. And then I'm thinking if there's anything else. Oh, so I don't remember this in the first book, but there was like a sickness that is kind of ruining the land and is also messing with the magic in this world. So there are so Ren can do magic, and also they have like a shaman boy with them in this book that can do magic, and their magic is weakening because of the sickness, and it's unclear what the sickness is from. I can't remember if maybe the king is somehow involved in what's going on with the sickness, but it's really, from what I'm gaining from this book and what I'm remembering, it seems to be unclear. Chevy's here. Hey, baby. So, yeah. So that's also happening, and there's something strange going on with the sickness, and I'm curious to know a little bit more about that. But yeah, I'm 100 pages in, so still not really far into it. I think it's a 400 page book, so about a fourth of the way into it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So yeah, I'll keep you posted as I go more into the book. So yeah. Chivy, you want to be in the video? You look very cute. Yeah. Do you want to read Girls of Storm and Shadow? Yeah? You want to read it? You're so silly. Good boy. Hey guys, so I am getting ready for a party, but I thought I would give you an update on how it's going with the Girls of Storm and Shadow book that I'm currently reading. So I figured I would just get ready for this holiday party that I'm going to and talk to you a little bit about the book. So I have my hair in twists, so I'm gonna undo these twists. But so I've gotten really far in the book currently. I'm almost done with it. I think I have like 100 pages left. A lot has happened. And basically, so they were able to basically gain, the favor of the, like, bird clan. I can't remember, they're like the white clan or something, but they're a clan of birds, and they gain their favor, but the Swan Queen's daughter was killed by mysterious means, and, it's implied that she was killed in a similar way as Ren's mother was killed in the first book, so that's a thing, yeah. A lot of people have died. I just finished a chapter, and we've already seen Bo die, and also Hero, which is one of the characters. I mean, if you guys have read this book, you know what I'm talking about. Because you really should not be watching this if you have not read the book. Because, like I said, this is going to be spoilers galore. But I have concerns about... I want to start off with Bo because I want to cover Bo's relationship with Mirren, which is the owl. So they had, like, a very, like, weird kind of, like, back and forth, like, jokey kind of snide remarks going on, but there were hints that Mirren kind of had a thing for Bo, which I think makes sense. I mean, I don't think there's an issue with that, but I do have some concerns that I feel like their relationship just felt a little rushed. In my opinion, they kind of got together when they like travel on the boat, and that's kind of the extent of the relationship, is like the 3 weeks they spent on this boat. I'm trying to get to the next clan that they were going to seek help from. So I don't know if anyone else felt that way, but I felt like the relationship was rushed, and then Bo dies, which, oh gosh, it's not funny, but it's just like sudden and just really unfair, I feel like, to the story, because I feel like he had a lot to offer. Of the like characters that we're following kind of on this journey narrative, he had the most developed character, I feel like. I feel like Mirren and Hero are the least developed characters, and also Kane. I think that's the like teacher, the warrior teacher. I think he's also kind of underdeveloped, so it just kind of is a little disappointing to find out that Bo is passed away or was killed, because I actually really enjoyed his character, and it brought a really good amount of comic relief to the story, and I thought his character was just like really interesting. So it's kind of upsetting to know that he's just gone. But I also want to talk about his, like, the way he died. So there's obviously, we have Hero and Red who can do magic and heal people. And they weren't able to heal him because they were using their magic to have wind in their sails so they can move the ship away from the army ship. I just feel like his death was kind of pointless. I get that she's probably trying to, Natasha is probably trying to develop a sense of unease in the reader, because, you know, when you kill a main character or like a very prominent character like that, it definitely makes the story and this like whole aspect of war feel much more real. But to me, it just didn't make sense that he would die. Like, I don't know why one of them couldn't do the wind, especially after Ren cuts her wrist and uses her blood to make her magic even stronger. So I don't know why then her magic wasn't strong enough to then give Hero the opportunity to heal Bo. But I'm guessing, but then, I mean, Hero also mentioned that Bo was already dead before he agreed. But to me, I don't know if that's true, because he did attempt to heal him, but then Ren told him not to, and he didn't. So to me, that assumes that he was alive, but who knows? I mean, maybe it will be revealed at some point, or if it actually doesn't really matter. But to me, I just felt like his death was completely pointless, and I also feel like Hero's death as well was completely pointless, because I just feel like his death was completely pointless because they were using this really powerful magic to form a distraction, which wasn't really needed, because then they were rescued by Lova and what is the cat clan? I forget the name of that clan as well. But they were rescued by Nova, so like their distraction, while helpful, wasn't really as necessary. Like, they didn't need that much magic. So like, to me, it's just frustrating when like you have characters that are, I mean, Hero's death doesn't really bother me as much as like Bo's death does, because I feel like Hero is kind of less of a developed character. I mean, he had a lot of potential, which is also kind of upsetting, because I feel like of all the characters, he had the most secrets, and we haven't really been told what those secrets are up to this point. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like upset about that, because I don't know, it's just, I get that she wants, I mean, it is a war, so I'm assuming people will die, and I feel like a good book, there will be people that die. But it just feels like, of the people that would die, Bo is like the least person I would expect to, just because he has the most speaking role. I mean, he speaks the most out of everyone else on the team. Like, that to me was just bizarre that she would kill him off. Maybe then, you know, that this will give her the opportunity to maybe develop some of the other characters like Miriam and Nita. I mean, I like Nita's character, but I mean, she kind of relied a lot on Bo for her kind of like character. But also we have the introduction of some of the cat clans, so we have the General Lova and potentially other characters coming into the mix. And also we've been following Aoki and Kenzo as they're still in the royal palace, and they're having interactions with like the king and things like that. So they're still characters in the mix, and I do want to talk about that too as well. I don't think there was any other like POVs in the first book other than Lay's. And this one has occasionally, we've seen the King's POV, we've seen Aoki's POV, and then Kento's POV. At least that's what I've seen so far. We may see other people's POV, but to me, I don't feel like it's necessary. Like, I just don't feel like that is really like bringing anything to the table, I guess, in terms of like adding value to the story. So I'm just not really, sorry, I'm looking for my foundation. I'm just not really like sure why it was necessary, and I feel like it's kind of elongating the story. We've had a lot of action in this book, which is slightly different from the last book, because I feel like the last book had less action, but it was more focused on Ren and Lay's kind of like romance and coming together. So I guess that makes sense. I felt like there was going to be more tension between Lay and Ren, because Ren didn't tell her father about their relationship. But it seems like everyone knows about the relationship because they like are intimate together between the teams. So Kane obviously knows about the relationship, and he's very close with Ren's father. And it turns out they're actually lovers as well, which is interesting. I'm confused as to like if that tension is ever going to be brought up again. And now that I'm assuming Ren didn't know that her father was having a relationship with Kane. So now that she knows her father is into men, is she going to be more willing to basically open up about her relationship with Lay? And also, we just got introduced to this new character, Lova, who had a relationship with Ren as well. They were in a romantic relationship, and I just finished the chapter where Lova like kisses Ren in front of everybody. So they clearly had an intimate romantic relationship. So was that also a secret to her father? Like who? I don't know. I'm just confused and I want answers, but I haven't finished the book, so I'm trying not to be too like picky. But I'm enjoying it so far. I still think the first book is much more impactful, and was much more, grabbed my attention much more. I just don't think this book has that same tone, which I would think it would be too dreary if it did, honestly. But it's not as good in my opinion so far as the second book. I tend to not really like journey stories in books, but I tend to really like them like in TV shows or like series on like in visual form. I tend to like the journey narrative more than in book form, so that is also probably a hinder, is that I'm just not, it's just a lot of like going from one place to the next, drama ensues, then you go to the next place, even more drama ensues, and it just kind of feels like pointless to me in a way. But we'll see how it goes. I have like 100 pages left to go, so yeah, I will keep you guys updated with how it goes, and I'm sure this first vlog is going to be really boring because it's just kind of me standing around and sitting around my apartment talking about books. And I'll try to insert more of me doing things as well into these vlogs later on. Yeah, I should show you guys this. I also got some books in the mail today, which I'm really excited about, so I can do a quick haul for you. So yeah, I'll do that now as well. So I got 3 new books in the mail today, which I'm really excited about. And the first is Children of Virtue and Vengeance. So glad I finally got my Barnes & Noble copy. And this will be the next thing I read after I finish Girls of Storm and Shadow. So super excited about this. I'll be doing a vlog similar to this video, but hopefully better and more updates. So yeah, really excited about that. I don't believe I've talked about this book, about the book that I was reading in November, but I finished it in December, so it'll be in my December wrap up. But I finished the 100,000 Worlds book that I was going to do for my Buzzwordathon. And so if you want to watch that video, it has more about what that book is about. But it's basically about comics and comic conventions. And I really enjoyed that book. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, but it was a really good book. So I wanted to check out what other books Bob Proel had out. And this is another book that he wrote, I believe last year. Or actually this year, 2019. It's The Nobody People. And I think this is kind of like X-Men kind of thing, so it's like follows 4 people that have special like inhuman powers, which is interesting. And it looks like it's from the cover like a diverse cast of people, so that's really exciting. And I'm really excited to read it because his writing was really good in the first one. I love the story, and I was just really pleased with the ending, even though I didn't know kind of how it was going to end. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And then I also picked up the 3rd book by Kate Arsenal Rivera, which is The Warrior Moon. This is what is this? The God series. I've talked about both of these books on my channel. I have really mixed feelings about them because I really enjoy the story, but I realize that it's probably not an ideal narrative, and there's a lot of like problematic issues with it, or potentially problematic issues with this book. So it's a book that I would probably never recommend to anyone to read, but I am just really fascinated with the story and want to continue on, so I bought it. And I usually wait until these books appear on Book Outlet so I can get them at a discounted rate, but I decided to just go ahead and buy this off of Amazon, so technically it wasn't full price, but I bought it off of Amazon because I really wanted to continue the story. So I might read this one soon because it's Asian inspired as well. And since The Girls of Storm and Shadow are Asian inspired, I'm kind of like feeling like that's kind of the direction I want to go and continue with Asian inspired stories. So I might pick this up. But this is a really big book. This is like the biggest book in the series, which is insane because all the other books were really huge too. This is like almost 700 pages, so I don't know when I'll get to this because her books take a really long time to read. She has very like beautiful prose, and I love her writing style, but it is very slow going. So I don't know. I probably won't start this book this year, but hopefully I want to get to it like early in 2020. So yeah. So those are all the books that I purchased and a little bit of my thoughts of Girls of Storm and Shadow. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Hey guys. So it is next morning after my holiday party. It was actually really fun. It was for my friend wanted me to go because one of her coworkers invited her. So I went along to keep her company. But it was actually a really fun party. I really enjoyed it. So got back really late and didn't get a chance to read any more of Girls of Storm and Shadow. But I'm currently reading it now this morning. And I just finished the chapter, gosh, I can't speak this morning. I just finished the chapter after Lova kisses Ren, and a big bomb was kind of just dropped, which I kind of had an inkling of when it first happened, but then I kind of like brushed it away after they kind of like, Ren kind of talked the White Wing clan into believing it as well. But there was a suspicion that their team had killed the White Wing queen's daughter, Yola, but she was killed in a similar way as Ren's mother, so it kind of made sense that there was some like other potential threat outside of the king, or the king himself kind of threatening the White Wing clan. But Mirren just basically said that he believed it was Ren, and also Lei kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together and also kind of come to that conclusion, which is kind of disturbing because then it makes me think, was she also in on killing her mother, or was that a kind of like piece to help spring forth this whole war in general? I don't know if it was her, because it kind of screwed up their whole plan in the first book, because she was meant to kill the king, but because her mother was killed, you know, she had to go back home, and she was in the castle, in the palace for several, I mean, for the whole time she was a paper girl, so, like, it probably doesn't make sense that she killed her mother, but it is interesting because we still don't really know if that was the king, is, like, king's intent to kill her mother, or if it was, like, someone else trying to basically make them think it was the king. So that's still kind of like a secret. I'm still not really sure what is happening with that, but yeah, I do think that I actually really like that kind of like secret being revealed, because I feel like there was a lot of Chevy's here too as well. He's making lots of noise. But anyway, I feel like there was a lot of foreshadowing for that to occur, because Ren was acting weird around Lei, and it just seemed very odd that Yola would die while they were there. So I think that, like, secret does make sense, and I think it's kind of revealing also a lot about her father, that he may not be the best person to take the throne after they, like, spur the king and kind of win the war. So I think this is going to be a bigger issue for Lee. She kind of goes through, obviously she wants to participate in this war because she's not comfortable with the king continuing his rule, but is she on the right side is a bigger question, because while Ren and her father are willing to do anything to kind of ruin the king's rule, is it worth the cost of what they're willing to do, killing innocent people, that sort of thing? So I think that's really one of Lei's biggest conflicts, and especially because she's in love with Ren, is she willing to kind of give up that relationship because she doesn't feel like the direction that Ren and her father are doing is the best direction to go in. So I'm curious to know how that goes. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think that bomb was, like, perfect. I think Mirren has definitely, while I still think his character is not as developed, and it does seem kind of like, I don't think it seems strange for him to be acting out and kind of revealing all these secrets, but I do think it's just, I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like I just don't know Mirren enough, so it's, like, really hard to know if this is, like, within his character or outside of his character. I just feel like we really didn't, other than, like, his, like, secret interest in Bo, that's kind of, like, all we knew about him throughout this book, and now he's kind of, like, he has conflicting feelings about the war and about what they're doing. Which makes sense considering what's been happening, but I don't know. I think I would have liked it if these feelings had creeped up, like, earlier on before he started a relationship with Bo, so that it wasn't just, like, Bo's death that's kind of causing all of this, but who knows. Maybe something else will come up in the rest of the book, and something even worse will occur. I'm interested to see how this book ends. I would really like to see Ren and Lei kind of, like, split up. I know that sounds horrible. I do really like their relationship, but I think Lei kind of needs to go out on her own. And I would really want to see that, because I want to see her independent of Ren, because I think in this book, she's so dependent on Ren, and so dependent on, like, their relationship and their mission, that she's done things that have gone against that, like saving people when she probably shouldn't have, but I just kind of want to see her out on her own, doing her own thing, maybe with Nida, because I think they have a really close relationship as well. So yeah, that's something I would be interested in seeing in the second book. But I'm on page 312, and there's a total of, how many pages? About, like, 400, yeah, 400 pages exactly. So I have less than 100 pages left to go. I'm hoping I can finish it today, because I really want to get this video out next week. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys really like this book too. If you've already read it, yeah, spoil it in the comments for me. I'm hoping you guys are liking this more spoiler video, and I know it's going to be hard for people that haven't read it because you're not going to be able to really watch this, but I just kind of wanted, especially with second books in a series, it's just so hard to review them without like giving away the first book. So I wanted to make something that would be enjoyable to like film and also watch. That is something where I can kind of walk through like my initial reactions to the book and my thoughts and talk to people who are invested in the series and who've already read the first one and read the second one. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this series, and I'm going to do it with the Children of Virtue and Vengeance as well, if all of this goes well. So yeah, enough talking. I'm going to get back into reading. Hey guys, it's Monday night. I finished Girls of Storm and Shadow last night. So yeah, I'm slightly disappointed with this book. It's not, to me, it didn't have the impact that the Girls of Paper and Fire did. It just kind of like felt like that second book slump, you know, where there's not really much going on or happening, but it's potentially building up to a really good final book. I don't know how many books are actually going to be in this series. I would suspect that there will be 3. I don't know, it just felt kind of like anticlimactic considering how much tension and buildup there was at the end of the first book. Like, the fact that she attempts to kill the king, brutally, like, mutilates him, but he's still alive, and the fact that there really wasn't any, like, repercussions for that, I guess, in this book. Like, I mean, he's still recuperating, so he obviously can't come and, like, attack her himself, but, like, I don't know, it just felt, in places it also felt a little too convenient at times. Like, there were attacks throughout the book. So, like, after they finished with the White Wing clan, they took a boat to go to the, Kozo, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's CZO clan, and while they were, like, traveling on boat, they were attacked by a military boat. But they managed to escape the boat and then crash onto the archipelago island where the next clan was. My thing is, whatever happened, like, why wouldn't the boat not just follow them? It kind of, like, just disappeared and never returned. And it was, like, a convenient escape, even though, I mean, the escape did cost Chevy. I mean, the escape did cost them, like, Bo. I mean, Bo did end up dying, and then Hero ended up dying. And at the end of this book, it's really unclear who's alive. I don't know. And it just felt, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, we learn a lot in this book that Ren and her father do in order to make this war reality, like planning raids to make it look like it was the king. And we find out that her father was the one that actually planned the raid that killed Aoki's family in the grasslands, which to me, I'm fine with that. Like, if that's what happens, that's what happens. But to me, Alay's reaction to it didn't seem to warrant how she felt during that. Like, if you knew that someone you loved was a big contributor to killing the family of your best friend, I feel like that would completely, like, you can't come back from that in terms of, like, their relationship. but she still feels really close to Ren and still feels really connected to Ren, and I don't really understand that. I feel like her reaction didn't match up with like Lei as her character. I just don't feel like she would be willing to kind of like forgive Ren for that. And I don't know. To me, I was really hoping that she was going to leave with Mirren and Nida and kind of go on her own and figure out a way to oppose the king, but not using the kind of methods that Ren and her father were using. But that didn't really happen. She was kind of like taken away from the team by force by Mirren, and then at the end she decides to go back and is looking for Ren, but then gets caught by Naja. So I don't know. I feel like I just don't think that ending really made sense, and it wasn't really as impactful as the first ending. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I gave the first book 5 stars. I really wanted to give it 4, but I just feel like it's just kind of a meh book, so it kind of just deserves a 3. And I don't necessarily think that it's like anything wrong with Natasha's writing or anything with like the story. I don't know. I just think it was kind of just an okay book. And I'm not really sure where the story is going to go from here. But I mean, I'm still going to continue on with the series because I want to know how it ends. But like, I don't know. It was just kind of meh. And yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think. So definitely put your thoughts in the comments below. And also let me know if you're liking this like style, if you're into me talking more in depth about books and including a lot of spoilers. I know I kind of basically went through what the entire book was about, but ideally you've already read it, so I'm kind of just like giving you my thoughts on what happened. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys' thoughts were on this book. Did you enjoy it? How are you feeling about it? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.